Peace and blessings. This is Black Author Art and Hustle. Black Authors Matter. And today we have Miss Mary Banks. How you doing, Miss Banks?
Good, good.
So, if you will, before we even start into your book, if you will share who you are and what you do.
Yes, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a self published author, and also I am the owner of Lemise Press. Lemise Press assists women with writing and birthing their books. Recently, I launched a journaling membership, Scribe Your Destiny Club, which is all about using journaling as a tool for transformation.
Hmm. Thank you for doing the service that you do. The service of helping people birth their books, your ladies birth their books, but also thank you for the service of just using journal as an eye opener to help people see the growth in themselves.
Yes.
I think that is very important that we don't always beat ourselves up for what we think we should be doing, but you should always reflect back to see where you were, to see where you're at now. And when you do so, God can actually show you how I done moved you from one stage of your life to a next. And while you may be going somewhere else, be grateful to where you're at.
Yes, so true.
So tell us a little bit about your books.
Yeah, so Street Magic Stories and Tales, right here. I wrote it while at the University of Baltimore, where I earned a MFA in Creative Writing and Publishing Arts. So it's 9 short stories, and each one of those stories is something different. So, testimony, that's me resharing the Adam and Eve story from Eve's perspective. Then it's like Lost and Found, where a two teenage girls discover a baby in the trash can. Like, these are kind of like out there a bit, the stories, but people who read it enjoy it because it's very different. So that's why I call it street magic, stories and tales, because it mixes the gritty with the reality. It's some, magic in there. One girl, she likes to cast love spells, but one of her love spells didn't work. So it's very imaginative.
Well, it sounds like more like real life because you do have people who words are spells, they say.
Yeah.
And just looking at the one where you were speaking about the two young ladies who ended up finding the baby, this happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, it's gritty, but I'm pretty sure the story has somewhere that it goes. It takes you, it makes you think, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, what it'll do is make people want to be better.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about the book, about what your objective in creating these short stories were.
Yeah. So as a writer, I feel as though it's a privilege. And for me, I found that I like to write stories for individuals who would be more so marginalized. So for me, most of my characters are persons of color, African American women. So for me, it's an opportunity for me to share their stories. Although it's fictional, I do feel that as fiction writers, you still have a contribution to make, even though it's not nonfiction per se. But I know for myself, a lot of the inspiration comes from real life.
Mm,
So in this book as well, it talks about United States past in terms of like racial segregation and stories like that. Then, of course, there's stories where it's more so woman representation. So that's why I thought to retell the story of Adam and Eve from Eve's perspective. Of course, Eve is saying it's not her fault. So it's very imaginative, creative. And like I said, those who read it liked it. They could like read it in one sitting. And some are like, okay, where's the next book?
okay, I love that. I like the fact that you put women's not always taking accountability in there. Look, because hey, unfortunately, look, I see it, that may do come from Eve, from Eve, and not not from just the standpoint of now, even though we go
Uh-huh.
through a bunch of stuff, but to each his own.
Mhm.
I do like that part. I got to be honest.
Okay.
But
Yes. Yes.
for the most part, I like what you're doing.
Mhm.
Just working to gather the thoughts and help people to move forward in life, and that is very important. Um, do you have any other books or anything cooking?
Okay, so cooking, I need to actually get back to writing myself. For the last past years, I would say 5 years, I've really been in the seat of assisting other people with writing and publishing their books. But I'm thinking it's probably about time for me to write a book. And I think more so it's more than likely going to be a nonfiction book, and more than likely a nonfiction book about the power of journaling, because as I mentioned before, I did launch Scribe Your Destiny Club, which is all about using journaling as a form of transformation.
Hmm. So, matter of fact, how long have you had the book that you have now? How long
This
has it
book,
been?
I published it in 2011, so it's pretty seasoned, as they say.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure you have put it in quite a few hands.
Yeah, I need to put in more, especially when it's my first book, anytime you have your first book, it's such a learning curve. But now, if I were to publish another book, I'd kind of understand the importance of marketing. Of course, when it's your first book, you're just so excited to put the book out there that you may have not thought about the marketing piece. So that's why when I work with aspiring authors, I'm very much letting them know that yes, this is a creative work, but I also want you to begin to think about your marketing as well.
Because you're not just writing just to write. You're writing to get it in people's hands. Yes, some people start off thinking it's just a hobby, and you ended up with a book. To me, I always go to uh, the Bible when I do this. It says, "Your gift will make room for you and put you before great men."
Mhm.
And when God gives you an idea, a thought, and you bring it forth from idea and thought to physicality, now it's what are you going to do with it? Are you going to let it sit on Amazon and not tackle it and not push it for nobody to ever get the benefit out of what you don't put together? Because it everybody's not writers. Everybody has a book, and everybody can formulate a thought and put it on paper. Will they do it is the question. But for you to accomplish the goal, I think this is just me. I think what'll happen is if you take the initiative to push the book, your book will take care of you.
Mm. Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I don't know how many books you have actually sold, or do you keep a count or not? But
It's been a while. Yeah.
the thing about it, in selling books, and I learned kind of like what you said, when you put the first book out there, you learn a lot of things that you can actually do better as
Mhm.
far as how to market it, how to put it out there. I'm on my second book now,
Okay.
and I want to market this one way better than I did the last one. Not that I haven't had a success, and still is having success with my last book, but it took
Mhm.
a lot of grind for me to actually get success.
Yeah, you have to definitely be intentional. I will say with the book, how you mentioned opportunities, one of the stories actually was turned into like a play, like a short, like a, one of those
Look,
short plays.
it's a play. Look, we ain't even call it short play.
Okay,
It's
it's a
a play.
play. Okay, okay. Yeah, so that's one of the ways in which, you have something now, but it can take another form. So that was pretty cool. That was actually the Number Blues one, that it was actually turned into a play because one of my friends is a playwright, and she was like, Mary, we should turn this into a play. And they just used the exact words that I wrote. They just used exact words and put like a play behind it, some they call it choreography, all of
Mhm.
that. So that was pretty cool to see that come to life.
Do y'all still do the play?
No, it was like a one-time thing, but it's actually on YouTube.
Okay.
We were
Look,
discussing YouTube. It's
you
on
need to
YouTube.
talk to them about doing it again, just to keep it rolling. because
Yeah.
it can become something huge from an idea. It ain't like this didn't happen for a reason. This happened so, and you can not just get uh, the idea and the thought and help other people see that what their possibilities can be, but you can now take and fashion that where they know that, hey, this is the direction I want you to go to.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I commend you on that.
Yes.
Congratulations on having your book turned into a play.
Yes, the short story turned into a play. It was pretty cool. Then I had another opportunity because a woman who worked on that, she was like, "You got another piece?" So then that was another one. This is a while back though. It was like American Soul. She did a piece on that. So yeah, I say all this to say I think I need to also go back into my fiction writing. I've been in this nonfiction space, but I know fiction is one of my skill set as well that I need to get
Yeah,
back into.
tap into that. So, few things. I want you to tell them where they can find your book,
Mhm.
all your social media, all your any social media platforms that they can find you, where they can actually purchase your book. Because I want y'all to go out and buy Miss Mary Banks' book. Please buy her book. Look, authors, we don't just write this stuff just to be writing it. We write it for you. And while it is therapeutic, we want to make sure that y'all be able to gain from us what God has given us, that we may push back into you because you got a book and
Mhm.
y'all. So what I want you to do that. But then number two, I want you to give them a word of wisdom. Whether it's somebody just starting a business or writing their book, or whether it's somebody who's been in the game who might just need some new advice, new information to
Mhm.
push their material.
Okay, great. So, Street Magic Stories and Tales, of course, you can find it on Amazon. If you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Mary Banks Writer. You can go to the link tree and then you'll see a link to purchase the book there. I'm also on Instagram as well at Lamuse Press. That's LAMUSEPRESS. And I didn't even mention that I have this online store too where I sell stationery products, and that's the Paper Palace. I recently joined TikTok, and on TikTok, I am the prophetic scribe. So
Mm.
that's where you can find me. As far as the advice, okay, so now, like I said, I have wear so many different hats. So, what I will say is that I encourage every individual to write. Even if you feel as though you're not a writer, a great place to start is journaling because journaling is very therapeutic. It allows you to express yourself in a safe space. Hopefully, you don't have anyone that tries to read your journal because I know some people have those experiences and it makes them not want to do it anymore. But outside of that, definitely journal, express yourself. For aspiring authors, I would tell them to, and this is like more practical advice, determine which publishing route you want to go. Do you want to go traditional publish? Do you want to do the hybrid route where you pay a portion of your publishing? Or do you want to do more so the author publisher, aka self-publish? So I think if you want to become a writer or published author, first determine which route you want to go, and then that's going to determine which path you should take. But ultimately, I feel like it's resources out there. If you put God first, He will make a way for you, and just stay encouraged.
So biggest words, stay encouraged. So
Yes.
for each and every one of y'all, one, thank you, Miss Banks, for joining us. Two, I need y'all to stay encouraged, and this is Art and Hustle. Black Authors Matter. Thank y'all for joining.